everybody.
Hi, friends. Well, from beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah.
It's Thank God I'm Atheist,
The podcast where we, a couple of crazy atheists, just get out there and try and make sense of a wackety world here in these fascist United States.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
Coming up on the show today, Dan, we're going to be talking about a wonderful Utah tradition.
It is the parade that commemorates the first Mormon parade. And what that first Mormon parade.
That was a wagon train, Dan. That wasn't so much of a parade.
It was a parade. It went all the way from Nebraska to Utah. It's perhaps the longest parade of all time.
Yeah, but
every
complete
year now
with
we
marching
celebrate.
bands and floats. This is the thing you don't know about the Mormon Trail is the amount of marching bands there were
as they left winter quarters.
Yeah, and baton twirlers.
Yeah.
All right. But first, there are
Was John Philip Sousa a Mormon? I don't think he was.
No, he was not. First, though, Dan, there's some news of the week.
Various
some things that have happened.
Sundry, yes.
Including, Dan, an update about Ryan Walters, state superintendent of the public schools in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He finds his way into the news a lot. Usually because he's being a total asshole.
Well, a Christian nationalist, hardcore.
Yeah. He likes things like banning books and high morals, Dan. He wants to keep the smut, as it were, out of our schools.
Oh, yeah. He hates it.
At least their schools. No smut allowed at all, which is why during a recent State Board of Education meeting, executive session, in fact, so it was in his office. They'd I guess, met to discuss some things sort of, in private, not in a public forum, as
very
these boards
important
tend to
discussion
to
being
do.
had.
And where there were a handful of board members. I think the whole board was pretty much in attendance, including Ryan Deathridge, and Becky Carson, who were seated in such a position where they could see a television that not everybody else in the room could see.
Okay.
So I'm trying to imagine how what the setup here is. It must have been like behind Ryan Walters' desk or something at an angle.
His own personal TV.
His own personal television. This was not like on the wall so that everybody could see whatever, document they were all looking at.
Okay.
Whatever, right. Like this was more of just a television for Ryan Walters' benefit.
Okay.
And Ryan Deathridge's and Becky Carson's, as it turns out, who... these are Becky Carson's words.
Okay.
About what she saw. She says, I was like, what am I seeing? I was kind of in shock, honestly. I started to question whether I was actually seeing what I was seeing. I was like, is that a naked woman? And then I was like, no, she's got a bodysuit on. And it happened very quickly. I was like, no, that is not a bodysuit. And I hate to even use these terms, but I said, those are her nipples. And then
don't use those terms, Frank. Has this show become a smut show that you're now quoting such horrific terms as nipples?
Nipples. No, not the nipples.
Oh my God.
And then Becky leaned in. I was looking closer. And I got a full body view. And I was like, that is pubic hair. Even right now, I couldn't tell you what I was watching. I can tell you, Becky. You were watching porn.
You can tell us what you were watching. We all know what you were watching. What are you talking about, Becky?
That was porn, Becky.
That was pornography.
There was porn on the superintendent's private television.
Oh my God.
And so it keeps going. And she says, so this is now Ryan Walters' reaction, but from her perspective. right?
Yeah.
And she goes, and he was like, what is this? What is this? I can't get it to turn off. I can't figure out how to turn it off. And I said, get it turned off. So he finally got it turned off, and that was the end of it. He didn't address it. He didn't apologize. Nothing was said. Well, and then let's see. So I guess both Becky Carson and Ryan Dethridge described the footage as retro in nature, and that there was no sexual intercourse going on. But there were definitely multiple nude women on screen and some sort of, quote, chiropractic table.
Oh.
So this was...
You know what? They were he was learning adjustment techniques.
He was reviewing some educational materials.
Yeah.
For a new chiropractic program that's being introduced into the elementary school.
I just really heavily recommend that no one look at the underside of his desk.
Oh, Jesus. Dan. What would we find under his desk, Dan?
Stalactites.
Oh, God. Dan, you are vulgar.
I'm not Ryan, what's his name is vulgar. Here's the funny thing. Like, obviously, you and I have no problem with someone viewing pornography.
No, clearly not.
Like, that is totally fine. Doing it at work is a problem.
That's a problem.
And doing it at work when you're a fucking, like, Christian nationalist D-bag who talks constantly about purity and goodness and Jesus and whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a hypocrisy.
It's incredible hypocrisy. And does it surprise us one iota?
Obviously not.
Does this shock you that this dumb fuck would be so dumb as to be doing this in his office and then not even be smart enough to like make sure that it wasn't on when people were coming in? Like,
okay, one of our listeners in Oklahoma must have 6 degrees of separation contact with someone who is in IT for the state or whatever.
Geez. Yeah.
Someone's got to release his browsing history. Someone's got to get it out there.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I want to see this video.
So
this
just for personal retro, research.
Yeah, for my own
big fan of the retro chiropractic.
Why not? Well, and also I think it will tell us much about this man, his porn viewing habits.
Yeah. Well, the Oklahoma Speaker of the House, Kyle Hilbert.
Okay. Presumably a Republican himself.
A Republican. He's expressed the fact that they need to look into this. I was going to use their word, which was a probe is needed, but I just find people need to choose their words more carefully when writing about these things.
Right?
An investigation. Do not talk about a probe, people.
Oh,
it's just going to
probe the hell out of this.
Anyway, this is what he said in his statement. These are serious allegations made by 2 members of the state board, and an expeditious third-party review is warranted. I urge the state superintendent to unlock and turn over all relevant devices and fully cooperate with an investigation. If no wrongdoing occurred, a prompt and transparent review should quickly clear his name. That's the right answer.
That is the right answer.
That's the right answer.
None of that will happen.
It's and as another Republican, he's not totally betraying Ryan Walters, right? He's just saying, hey, listen, if he has nothing to hide, he should turn it over, blah, blah, blah. Well, Ryan Walters is very upset. This is what he has to say. He says some of these board members are blatantly dishonest and cannot hide their political agenda. It is disappointing that they are more interested in creating distractions than getting work done for Oklahoma families.
Are these board members Democrats?
I think one of them was from Tulsa, so possibly. But no matter, these are probably people that he knows are not keen on everything that he's trying to do.
Maybe.
Right? Like
or maybe he's just, I mean, honestly, they could be 100% on board with all of the stupid, right-wing nonsense and still, but like, you see that on the screen, you're not going to be like, this is all okay. I mean, obviously, if it were Donald Trump, they would just be okay with, they would just roll over for anything that he did. But, oh my God. Oh, yeah. I shudder to think. I'll say this, regardless of Ryan Walters, I would not want to see what Trump's porn, what porn choices Donald Trump makes.
Yeah, it would not. There definitely would have been sexual acts happening. This would not just be women in a chiropractic office naked for some reason.
Right.
I mean, clearly there must be an audience for this.
Sure.
Medical related sort of
course.
Medical office sort of kinky,
I mean,
whatever, something.
It's that, what is it?
Not
Rule 34 or whatever. The internet rule that says that if it exists, there's porn of it on the internet. Because somebody wants to see it happen naked.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Good.
All right. Well, I am going to take us now to Indiana.
Okay.
Where they have a lieutenant governor. And unfortunately, that lieutenant governor happens to be Micah Beckwith, who is a Christian nationalist, another one of these ding-dongs. And woof, is he a ding-dong. Okay. This guy, he's a guy who has made statements like the LGBTQ movement is straight out of a demonic playbook. That's where all of their ideas are coming from.
Yeah. Okay.
He at one point declared that the 3/5 compromise was a good thing. Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't know what the 3/5 compromise was, suffice it to say that it was a way for Southern slaveholders to get extra votes based on the slaves that they owned.
Yeah, the North didn't want the slaves to count for purposes of the vote for apportionment, right?
Right.
But the South was like, yeah, we should be able to count our slaves so we can have more representatives in Congress.
Right.
And they were so the compromise was they would count the slaves as 3/5 of a person.
Each enslaved person was 3/5 of a person.
Only 3/5 of a person.
It was a bad thing, but not according to Mr. Beckwith. He also he characterized his own election as a choice between godly boldness, presumably that's him, and the Jezebel spirit.
Oh, was he running against a woman?
Presumably, but these people use these terms just to mean whatever the fuck. Anyway, he's had a new fun. He's adding to the hits. The hits just keep on coming from him. He was on a show that was done by the local NPR affiliate. So this is presumably not just some bro podcast where he feels like he can just say whatever he wants.
Yeah. Okay.
And in this case, he literally, so they asked him about child rape victims and whether or not child rape victims should be allowed to have an abortion. Because he's hardcore anti-abortion.
Okay.
And his answer was, yes, he thinks that they should be allowed to have an abortion. But there still needs to...
That surprises me, Dan.
It surprises me as well.
Yeah.
But there still needs to be accountability for the murder that is happening of that fetus. So here's what he said. That now the justice system will carry out justice on that man, meaning the rapist who fathered the child, the fetus.
Okay.
The justice system will carry out justice on that man for ending an innocent life, bringing an innocent life into the world, and then ending that life. He said, now there's justice, and I've always said I would be okay with that. He is talking about the death penalty for the rapist. Now, listen, a rapist should be brought to justice, and there should be a severe punishment for a child rapist.
Yes.
I think we can all agree on that. But that's just for the rape bit.
Yeah.
That's the bit that person, like, the thought that we're punishing that person for the quote unquote murder of the fetus that he made happen. It is an astounding bit of logic that he has come up with.
So presumably in his world, if he got his way and this was the reality, right? The woman would be allowed,
the child,
I guess, yeah, you're right. The child would get the abortion.
Yes.
And then the court proceedings would go forward. And if he's found guilty as the rapist, then he's punished with the death penalty. Okay. Because otherwise...
But like if we play out that scenario, I like that you're playing out the scenario, because now I've just played it out a little further. What if he's found not guilty?
Yeah.
If they don't have enough evidence to convict him. Well, then we go back to, now she's the murderer, off with her head. Or
there must be a murderer.
Whatever punishment.
Someone must be put to death for the death of this fetus,
or at very least held accountable
for the ending of this fetus.
Off to prison with her. For
no, he likes the death penalty.
He's if
the death penalty is good for him or for the guy, for the rapist.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a thing. All right, worldview, the beautiful world that these people would build for us. Right.
The amazing, like the knots that he has had to tie himself in, and it seems like he's pretty proud of this solution that he's come up with. He's pretty pleased with himself about having come up with this idea of like, well, we can't hold a child accountable, but for, she didn't even choose this.
Right.
But we got to kill somebody. I got to kill somebody.
It's really shocking to me that he takes his abortion stance so seriously, and yet he's willing to carve out this exception. But the act itself is so horrifying that somebody must die for it.
Right. He's going to allow a doctor
to commit murder to do in his eyes, right?
What he thinks is a murder, and then kill another guy for it.
Wow. That's good for him.
Such good logic. He's worked it out. Smarter than most of us. I'm so grateful for him.
Anyway. All right. That's a thing.
Good stuff.
Oh, where am I going to go next? Well, I thought I would continue on with a theme of sort of like conservatives getting caught doing being hypocrites, right?
What?
Never. Yeah, I know.
I have never heard of that. I don't believe you.
Let's see. This is Jason Yates. He was CEO of My Faith Votes, which was a sort of get out the vote project for religious people.
So important.
He's a prominent conservative activist. He's written a bunch of op-eds, I guess, for various different conservative organizations. He's a name. He's out there. You and I may have not really heard of him just because he was doing something that wasn't terribly exciting or interesting, right? But he ended up getting caught with a trove of child pornography.
Oh no, I'm so shocked.
And really, we don't do these stories very often because
No.
we've said this before on the show. These stories could take over the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, like, so easily.
If we wanted to do an entire podcast that was just stories of prominent Christian men, either raping children, having child pornography, having naked women on their TV screen in their office, right? Like
it would be its own podcast.
It would be a horrible show.
Yeah, it would be. It would just be depressing, and I would not listen to that podcast. But
so
there's plenty to talk about.
So much material every single week. We wade through this stuff, but there's just times when it's just felt thematic to me this week with the whole Ryan Waters story. I was like, Walter's story. I'm totally willing to do this one.
Well, and it's also thematic with all of the Jeffrey Epstein stuff that's happening in the world. Like,
fair enough. Yeah, totally. So anyway, just this last week, he has pled guilty. And his statement that he signed says, "I now make no claim that I am innocent. That in view of all the above facts and considerations, I wish to enter a plea of guilty." So he has accepted 2 of the 8 charges against him.
Right, which means all 8 are true, but he was able to negotiate down to only 2.
To only 2. 6 have been dismissed. And each one of these carried a potential punishment of 10 years in prison and up to a $100,000 fine. I guess last year, a family member of his accidentally stumbled upon this hard drive where he kept everything. And there were
him out. Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. That is the correct thing to do. Don't go to your pastor and report him.
No.
Right? Go to the authorities. Says, let's see, the contents included over 100 sexually explicit images of children, with many of the photos, this is awful, many of the photos believed to be of minors younger than 10.
Oh my God.
Like,
you're making it not funny, Frank.
Well, I don't want it to be funny.
No,
and
that's not.
There's nothing funny about this. In fact, I wanted to have a moment of just like, this is who's trying to take over the country in the name of righteousness.
Yeah.
And they're pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Like, and it doesn't surprise any of us because we know the history of Christianity's serious problem with, clergy abusing children, right?
Well, and
and covering up centuries of horrible, hypocritical activity by the most prominent people in any one of these communities, right? The priests and whomever else, right? They just cover it. They've been covering it up for centuries, and they want to take us over because the left is immoral and the left is taking us down some horrible path that, I'm sure there's people on the left that have horrible child pornography problems, right?
Of course. Like the difference isn't that there aren't bad guys on one side or the other.
Right.
The difference is how those bad guys are addressed, how these problems are handled.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like the internet has been awash since the Epstein thing blew up again. The internet has been awash with like all of these conservatives who are like, well, what if it drags down Clinton? What if your precious Clinton's on the thing? Then what? And literally everyone's like, then fucking hang him out to dry. We don't we don't protect predators on our side of the things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how great, we will lose anybody.
Yeah.
We will, because we believe in not protecting predators, whereas they believe in protecting their own in a way that is insane. Yeah. And it's not just higher up. It echoes down into the pews. Yeah. It's the believers, it's the people they don't want to acknowledge and address in their own minds, in their own hearts, that they could have been following and lauding and really trusting someone who's terrible. And that is an awful feeling. Yeah. It is is. But
it really exposes the fact that they would even like make that point just completely exposes them.
Right.
For how much they even just enable.
Right.
Their
why would it even occur to you to ask that?
Yeah.
Because
you know that you would you'll defend Trump. You know that in the light of or just facing the litany of accusations against the man for grabbing him by the pussy, right?
He's this out of his own mouth,
right? Her name's escaping me right now. The woman who was assaulted at a Bergdorf's or whatever, right?
Yeah,
in New York.
Carol something.
E. Jean Carroll, right?
Yeah.
Who keeps winning, and it's great.
Yeah.
Right?
Because
but it's just a list and the horrible stories of barging into the girls' dressing rooms at beauty pageants.
Right.
And he's a sick, horrible man, and they're defending him, and they know he's guilty of it. Right. With the accusation that we would defend Clinton if stuff came out. It's like, oh, you just exposed what you're doing.
Yeah.
Not what we would do.
Yeah.
Because you're absolutely right. Hang him out to dry.
And we should have hung him out to dry.
Back in the day,
Clinton.
Yeah.
He has been very credibly accused of rape.
Yeah.
I am 100%.
Even the Monica Lewinsky stuff, back in the day, we should have, but we weren't where we are now.
No, we weren't.
As Democrats. The party was not where it is now, where it's just zero tolerance.
Yeah.
Right.
Zero tolerance to the point where people who probably shouldn't be hung out to dry get hung out to dry.
Yeah. That's true.
Al Franken probably should have been fine.
Yeah.
But oh well. He, that's the level of no tolerance that we ask.
Maybe a little,
Ask Senator or was it Representative Menendez how tolerant, how much we are going to look after you if you commit crime.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, totally. But you are right that it has maybe overreached at times.
Yeah. All right. So, and I was not saying that Menendez shouldn't have gone to jail. It's good that he was convicted.
Yeah.
All right. So I am going to. There was a very interesting article in the religion in RNS, the Religion News Service, that I think brings up an interesting topic, which is the topic of sermons being written by AI, which is a thing that is now happening. There's no way of knowing to what degree this is happening.
Sure. Okay.
But it is a thing that now the clergy are sort of talking amongst themselves about.
Okay.
Including one pastor, Naomi Carricker. I don't know how to say that name.
Okay.
Who talked to RNS about how she, because here's the thing. The writing of a sermon is something that takes quite a bit of work. If you're going to write a good sermon, you want to do some research. You can't just say what it would be a bad sermon if it was just a 12-year-old's research paper on, 3 scriptures or whatever. You got to try and touch their hearts. You got to try and you got to have a good anecdote in there. You got to have a whatever.
Yeah.
So she said that she tried it. She plugged in some scriptures and some other stories and whatever into ChatGPT. And you know what? We've all tried ChatGPT. Instantly, it spits out a 900-word sermon, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is really good." Is the literal quote of what she said.
Okay.
Which
so did she give the sermon?
She claims she did not use that sermon.
Oh, okay. Good. Ooh, what a relief.
Which A, you fucking liar. Yes, you did. You may have changed a couple things, but you know you did use that. And B, now she says she uses it to outline sermons for her.
Okay.
And stuff, which is like, we're getting pretty close. Here's the thing.
She probably takes a few, because it probably gives her some good juicy one-liners in there as well. Some good stuff. There's some good material in there that I'm sure she's stolen.
Yeah.
Right? And says that she's not using it to.
Yeah.
I mean, it is remarkable. It helps me out a lot.
Yeah.
I have it clean up language and brainstorm stuff. Like, it's incredibly useful.
You use it. You have embraced this tool.
I have. I've backed off a little bit because of how much it does hallucinate.
Yeah.
It is for me completely invented stuff out of whole cloth that I just looked at dumbfounded.
Yeah, it's done that multiple times for me too.
Yeah.
My father-in-law was like, well, ask, he was trying to argue with me about some political thing, and he was like, ask Grok. And I was like, bro, you need to understand something. He was like, I think he said, ask ChatGPT or Grok. And I was like, you need to know they make shit up. And he was like, they do? And I was like, yes, you need to know. I don't think he believed me. I think he thinks that it's perfect, but oh my gosh,
that's
it
terrifying.
is shocking how much they just make things up.
Yeah.
But more to the point, because I mean, I think if you have ChatGPT write a sermon, oh my God, I shudder to think what Grok would write as a sermon. Anyway, you have ChatGPT write a sermon for you. It's going to mostly just be stories. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's made up.
Right.
It would matter if it like started making up scriptures, which it might well do. But like if it's just, coming up with ideas and sort of synthesizing them into a narrative that makes sense, that's fine. I'm not sure how comfortable I am because, boy, you could program an AI to very slowly and carefully change how not only a congregation, but even the fucking priest who's using it, you could change their minds about certain things. You could start to manipulate in some interesting ways. And that's trained clergy. Not to mention, and this is obviously happening, the church that you and I grew up in with zero trained clergy, and every week is just the quote unquote sermon is just some dipshit from the congregation getting up and giving a talk. Yeah. Lord knows I gave a few of them and I was just a goddamn teenager.
Right.
Obviously, all of those are written by AI now. No one writes their own talk. Mormon, like, what is it called?
A talk.
Sacrament meeting talk.
Yeah. Oh, sacrament meeting. Yeah.
Not a single person anymore
yeah.
is writing their own sacrament meeting talk.
Oh,
I'm surprised the Mormon church has not come out with their own AI and just said,
oh, they're working on it.
It's happening.
It
is happening. All of every general conference talk from here to eternity is going to be written by AI.
Yeah. Ugh.
Probably Grok. Anyway.
Just Nazi propaganda.
Grok, for those of you who don't know, Grok is the the former Twitter X AI that was that got in trouble. Grok got in trouble because its daddy Elon was mad because it was literally fact checking things honestly and like talking about how he was full of shit and how the Trump administration was full of shit and whatever. So he was like, I'm gonna fix this. It's got too much legacy media information in it. And immediately the fix turned it into a Nazi. It called itself a literal Nazi. So
it's pretty amazing. It's truly remarkable.
Astounding. Yeah.
All right. Well, Dan,
yes.
Speaker of the House. Our Speaker of the House. Dan.
Speaker of the House. Da-da-da-da-da.
What's his name? Mike Johnson, right?
Mike Johnson.
He's a nice one. Anyway, he's a right winger, right?
Oh, right as the wings can get.
He's a Christian nationalist, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Sure. Well, this last week, he released an op-ed where he actually agreed with us, Dan.
What?
He
said Frank and Dan are right.
That's what he said. Yeah, amazing, Dan. How'd you guess? No. He sort of acknowledged in this op-ed that there was a big story that didn't get a lot of attention.
Oh,
having to do with the IRS agreeing to basically no longer
do the Johnson Amendment,
enforce the Johnson Amendment.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very excited about this development, as you would expect from him.
Yes.
This is where he starts to differ from our position on it. He says that the rights of churches and religious nonprofit organizations can now speak freely without losing their tax-exempt status.
Thank God.
That's very important.
Praise Jesus about
it. It's, he frames this whole thing in that they are restoring the First Amendment rights of these churches, right? No. They always had the freedom to say whatever.
Yeah.
They just didn't need to be tax exempt.
Right. If you're operating under as a public trust,
yeah,
you have different rules apply to you.
If we're letting you not pay taxes, then there's just a couple things we want in return. And one of them is to not be a mouthpiece for whatever money is going to be flowing into you.
Right.
For political candidates.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so he says, that as a former constitutional law litigator, I have long argued that the Johnson Amendment is unconstitutional.
Right.
And President Trump understands this and resolved back in 2017 at the National Prayer Breakfast to get rid of and totally destroy the Johnson Amendment and allow our representatives of faith to speak freely and without fear of retribution. The retribution of paying taxes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. Not that
I feel like I've been retributed a lot over my years. I've had to pay plenty of taxes.
Yeah. These are people who were being silenced because of the tax code.
Oh,
right.
It's just so sad.
It's not exactly what happened. But he gets into it. He goes down this whole road of talking about how we just most people just misunderstand the separation between church and state.
Yeah,
right? It's this whole argument, right? That
yes.
that it's not even in the Constitution. That was a letter, a personal letter that Thomas Jefferson wrote.
The phrase "wall of separation between church and state" is not in the Constitution.
Yeah,
the concept is very much there.
Oh, very much clearly there, as it has been interpreted for 200 years or more at this point. Let's see. He says Jefferson clearly did not mean that a metaphorical wall was to keep religion from influencing issues of civil government. To the contrary, it was meant to keep the federal government from impeding the religious practice of citizens.
Literally opposite. Literally, he's wrong.
The founders wanted to protect the church from an encroaching state, not the other way around.
Yes, the other way around. Both ways.
Both ways. A wall works both ways. A wall works both ways.
They were not so overt about it. They said it so many times and in so many ways.
But I love that he's invented this magical wall that just You can pass through one way, but not the other, right?
Yeah. It was
Like-
literally the letter that Jefferson wrote that includes the phrase wall of separation between church and state was to a group of Baptists that were worried about another religious sect having too much influence in government.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's literally what he was talking about when he invented that phrase.
Yeah.
That's literally the thing.
Yeah. And so there you go. It just, these, they want to have it only their way.
But,
right?
but
and they
in
make
fairness, in fairness to him, Frank, you and I were never constitutional lawyers. So what do we know? He obviously knows more than we do.
Well, there are probably lots of things about the Constitution that he does know that we don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
But we don't have to. But he has to lie about the founding fathers in order to support. Some
or
of
he's
his views.
so entrenched in his worldview.
He knows. He knows he's fucking lying. I mean,
it's possible that he knows that he's lying, and that's definitely possible. But I honestly think that the way that people tend to work is that these lies that they might be saying at this, he is so, his worldview is all he can see.
Yes.
Right. And everything is coming through that lens. Right. And so I think he probably does believe this. Right. Like he
possibly
because
he's convinced himself of the truth of it, regardless of.
Yeah. He might know that like he's having to twist Jefferson's words a little bit, but I think that he thinks that this is the right interpretation of the Constitution, right?
Well, he thinks it's the right thing,
and
whether the actual Constitution supports him or not, he's going to make sure that this is.
He'll do with the U.S. Constitution what he does with the Bible. He'll read the parts and agree with the parts that he likes,
right,
and ignore the parts that he doesn't like,
or bend
because
and
that's
twist
how
and manipulate it until it means what he needs it to mean.
The most important book in his life, right? The Bible, right? That he's already doing this. Yeah. So of course he has no problem, right? And he doesn't see like this is just how they work. They pick the parts they like and they just beat on it.
You're not wrong.
Anyway, some other fun parts. He says the founders understood that all men are fallen and that power corrupts. They also knew that no amount of institutional checks or balances or decentralization of power in civil authorities would be sufficient to maintain a just government if the men in charge had no fear of eternal judgment by a power higher than their temporal institutions. I don't know how you explain Trump. Right. Like
you can't.
Like they're so willing to support a philandering, amoral, gluttonous piece of shit. Right. Yeah. And he's also willing to say nonsense like this.
Yep.
Right. And that's where I can't square how their minds work. Is when you can say this all you want, and if you're putting Jimmy Carter up as your champion, right? Then great, right? You put a real Christian man up and you're saying this kind of stuff, it's like, okay, at least you're being consistent.
But
right?
We've heard what they say about Joe Biden, who was as Christian as they come.
Yeah. No, totally. Right. Yeah. Anyway, he goes on and on and on and on. And I felt that I read the whole op-ed and it's wretched. He quotes de Tocqueville and
he's just such a piece of shit. He's such a nonsense bullshit person.
Yeah.
So all right, I'm erasing him from my mind, and I'm going to talk about a lovely cathedral in Wales. Can I take us to Wales?
Nice.
Have you ever been to Wales?
I have not been to Wales.
I've spent a very brief amount of time in Wales. The Welsh are lovely people.
Yeah, all right.
There's a very cute cathedral called Bangor Cathedral, and it's a banger. This one.
Good.
There have been recent reports. There's trouble in paradise in Wales. Apparently, this is the party cathedral of the world, and
Party?
by which I mean they do be drinking over at the Bangor Cathedral in Wales.
Okay.
Reports of the choir getting together with some of the clergy and just pounding that Prosecco on a Sunday morning. Just going to town, going to town on beer. Like, they're talking about literally, they called it a culture of binge drinking.
Really?
A 29-year-old lay clerk just called it, quote, deeply unhealthy. This is Esme Bird, who was a clerk and regularly sang with the choir. She said that people there would often get, quote, catastrophically drunk.
Well, I mean, you got to do something to get through services, right? Like,
I love that phrase, catastrophically drunk. Basically any excuse to crack the wine, to bring out the beer.
good for them.
They did literally, apparently, they did a game called, where was it? The 7 Last Shots of Jesus Christ.
What?
Which is based on the last words of Jesus, but they would do shots between each word or whatever.
What in the... All right, good. No, I love this. This is,
It has been a bit of a scandal.
Church sucks.
They've called in the archbishop to see what they can do, but apparently the culture that, like, what is there to do in a small town in Wales? You get pissed. You get shit hammered.
Yeah.
There was one quote that I didn't quite there's a whole bunch of funny stuff. I love this quote. This is from someone who was one of the parishioners, one of the choir members. I think I left after the first shot because I was like, quote, I don't think this is appropriate. There's too many people taking shots in dog collars for me to be comfortable.
Dog collars?
I think she might be referring to the
priest's collar.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what are they up to?
Right?
What
yeah.
kinky
For a second, I was like, this
now?
is a little BDSM action. This is getting more and more exciting by the second.
Well, all right. So they're going to clean the whole thing up, and they're
I don't
going to be
know if
left
they
with
are.
no parishioners.
I mean, they've sent in the archbishop to have a visit,
and he's going to come stumbling out of that visit.
The archbishop,
like, oh, I couldn't keep up.
The archbishop is like, I can drink these motherfuckers under the table. This is amateur hour. No, I do believe that the things that they might be having a little too much fun.
Oh, that's too bad.
I mean, but listen, when that's what the blood of your Savior is made of now,
yeah,
you're just celebrating Jesus.
Yeah,
that's blood of Christ right there. Have some fun.
Yeah, good for them.
I'm
really happy.
If Jesus didn't want you to get drunk, why is his blood made of wine?
I would go.
That's all I have to say.
If that was happening at my local parish, I would go.
Yeah,
I would go join in.
I wouldn't become I wouldn't become a member of the congregation, or at least not a believing member.
Yeah, but I would toast to Jesus. Why not?
Yeah, Jesus, I like him.
Jesus!
And Satan too. Why not?
Satan! Boo!
I mean boo.
Boo.
Eric, give me another shot. I needed to boo and I cheered. Sorry.
Oh no, wait, I'm
Glope.
confused.
Glope. All right. Well, friends, if you would like to party with Jesus, or anything, or you'd like to take us to task for anything that we have to say, please feel free to write into us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear from you. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. Stick around. There's more show coming up.
Well, Frank, we had some folks write into us. So
Excellent.
let's get into that. Do you recall, Frank, I spoke about a story that occurred in Eastern Canada.
Yes. Yes.
It
was some rude Canadians, if I remember right.
And here's the thing.
Which is weird.
Yeah. I may have gotten some of my Canadian geography not perfect.
Oh, Dan.
So Wendy
they're
has
going to revoke that citizenship, Dan.
Wendy has written in to take me to task. Dan, says Wendy. St. John's is in Newfoundland. St. John is in New Brunswick.
Oh.
New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island are maritime provinces. I called Newfoundland a maritime province, maybe. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland are Atlantic provinces. Newfoundland is not part of the Maritimes.
Oh, this is Dan.
I have made such grievous errors. St. John, New Brunswick is a very conservative city area. I believe it's because of the Irving oil refinery. Where there's oil, there are dickheads. It's Alberta. Okay, that was Wendy, not me.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what St. John's problem is. I suspect perhaps it's the event organizer. That's right. It was their gay pride that wouldn't allow recovering from religion to have.
Yeah.
There. Right.
Yeah, and they were like being rude.
They were. Wendy goes on to say Newfoundland is normally a liberal province. Seems strange to me. So
all right.
There you go.
Okay.
Let's see. Next we have John, who wrote in, who says, "Heyo, I arrived at the conclusion years ago." This is in reference to us talking about the church office building, the Mormon church office building downtown here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I arrived at the conclusion years ago after quitting religion and the Mormon church that the Mormon church was just a giant cosplay. You know how small children sometimes play house? They pretend to do what they believe to be grown-up things in a make-believe household. Yeah, that. So I came to look upon the Mormons as playing corporation business. Specifically, corporation business of the 1950s for some reason. Okay. Look at the way they dress. The men dress like middle managers, the stake president and bishops dress like bosses and CEOs. The women dress like dowdy PAs, accountants, or secretaries. The structure is hierarchical with direct reports and a clear chain of command. They collect performance statistics on fucking everything. They've got operations manuals. They've got procedures handbooks. They are so boring and meticulous. Yeah. They put ISO 9001 to shame. I don't know what that is.
I don't either. But
thankfully, I've never worked in a corporate environment, really. So that's something that I don't have to deal with.
No, you grew up in one.
John also made this very. This may bring it home all the way. Look at their meeting houses. They are built and decorated like regional offices of an insurance company. They train their missionaries to be little insurance salesmen. Everything about the Mormons is corporation business cosplay. And so is their world headquarters.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, here's the thing. They are just business people. That's literally the only world they understand, especially downtown, especially the people in charge.
Yeah.
Like all of their apostles, almost to a man, they came out of the business world. So there's the
there's
occasional,
the occasional
like,
one that's not
doctor or whatever. But they all, like, it is literally what they understand. And it is why they have $150 billion and they're a tiny, stupid little church.
Yeah. Yeah. But it works at the local level too. Like, who ends up being the bishop of the local ward? It's usually an insurance salesman,
right?
Or
someone who
somebody
has some success in a business.
Yeah. It's very rarely just the kindest,
right,
and purest hearted man of the ward.
It's never going to be an artist. It's never going to be like the poet laureate of the ward.
The ward organist never makes the jump from organist to bishop. It never happens.
No,
it never ever happens.
The choir chorister is, alas, stuck in that role permanently.
Will float around from being the ward chorister to the primary chorister.
Yeah, to leading the children into something. Yeah, but
to leading the choir. Yeah, it's yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Oh,
there you go.
All right.
Those business idiots. All right. And then finally, Thomas has written in to say, "Hey, Frank and Dan, I just listened to your story from the other day about the Dalai Lama. Do you remember we talked about this a couple weeks ago? The Dalai Lama who was going to resurrect himself.
Yeah.
And there's some question as to whether the Chinese government, like the Dalai Lama, the current Dalai Lama has said he will resurrect himself in, what is it, Nepal or India or something.
Yeah.
And he's the head of the Tibetan Buddhists, but Tibet is under Chinese control, and the Chinese government has said they will make sure that they have their own Dalai Lama. Anyway, Thomas goes on to say, as I'm sure you recall, there was a point in history when people didn't agree on who the Pope was. I imagine that at the time, who was the real one would depend on who you asked, but the other ones were anti-popes. I think it was a huge missed opportunity not to fire a pope and an anti-pope at each other at high speeds in some sort of large Hadron Collider-esque machine to see if they annihilate. I'd also like to see what kinds of undiscovered exotic clergy might be produced in such a reaction. Fortunately, the prospect of a Dalai Lama and an anti-Dalai Lama provides us with an opportunity to perform a similar experiment.
Oh,
even
exotic
better,
lamas.
With only two, there's no chance we accidentally smash two anti-popes together by mistake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Okay. Oh, that'd be bad. Yeah.
The large Lama Collider.
That's brilliant. That's really funny.
Switzerland, get on it. We need a collider. We have a few years, but hurry up.
Amazing.
Okay. Well, do we have some folks to thank, Franklin?
We do, Dan. We have a new patron over on Patreon by the name of Nathan. And Nathan is a deacon.
Oh, thank you, Nathan.
So thank you for coming in with that.
Yeah. And listen, friends, you heard that. We have a new patron this week. This is look, these are troubling times, and also, like, economically it's difficult out there. We get it. And also people are out on vacation. That's all fine.
Sure.
But we need you to pick up the slack here.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
So get out to thankgodimatheist.com/donate.
Yeah.
You can choose to be a patron over on Patreon. You can give us money over at PayPal. Whatever works for you. We accept all comers. We will give you magic powers that will be worthless to you, but we will endow you with them.
Yeah.
Just the same as the Mormons endowed us with magic powers when we
worthless
were
powers. Yes. Uh-huh.
And you will get our eternal thanks. And I think that's what's really worth something.
It is worth so much.
So we have one more person.
We do have one more person to thank, Dan, our Lord and Savior, our top donor, Alexandra.
More show coming up. Well, Frank, I recently went to the parade.
The parade.
A parade. It's
The
the parade.
parade?
It is the parade. There's basically two major parades that occur in Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
One is the Pride Parade,
Yes.
and the other is the Days of 47 Parade, which is a meaningless grouping of words if you're not from here.
Right.
If you're not from here, that's just nonsense phrases. But if you are from here, then you know exactly what that means, because it is the parade that honors and revels in the Mormon pioneers
Yeah.
and their trek across the continent of North America to this place. This is the place.
Well, and it's held every year on our big state holiday of Pioneer Day.
Right. Which is the state holiday. It is the 24th of July.
Yeah.
So if you hate fireworks, the entire month of July is just fucked
awful.
for you.
It's so awful.
I love fireworks. I have no problem with them, but I understand the objections and they make sense to me.
Dogs don't like them.
No, our dog is fine, but yes,
A lot of
dogs.
people who served in the military,
A lot of
especially
veterans
active duty fellows,
really struggle with it, and it does. It sounds like a war zone.
It's fucking
The entire
ridiculous.
valley.
The volume that I have to turn my white noise machine up to sleep in my neighborhood is absurd.
At that point, it's not white noise; it's just roars.
It's
just
roars.
roaring.
It's a white roaring machine at that point.
Anyway, I thought, here's the thing: they do the big parade. I haven't seen this parade since I was a child.
No, because every rational person in this valley who's not a Mormon who wants to go to the parade stays as far from downtown Salt Lake City as possible.
Right.
Because it's a big parade.
Yeah.
It takes over downtown Salt Lake City.
It's absurd. It's a nightmare. It's a bit of a nightmare. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I now have an apartment downtown.
Yeah.
And the parade goes literally right past my apartment. So, of course I'm going to watch the parade from my own house. Are you kidding me? So we first of all, here's the thing. And this still happens. This shocks me. At least 24 hours in advance, people were already staking their claims along the parade route.
Are they actually camping out there?
Yeah, they sleep over the night before. They make a family thing of it.
The homeless population of Salt Lake City skyrockets for one night.
For one night. And delightfully, I did see one local unhoused man that I've seen around the neighborhood just sort of in with them, just sort of, he had his own place staked out. He was sleeping in a way that he is used to sleeping, but he was now with company. And I thought that was kind of cute.
All right.
Anywho, the next morning, the parade happens. So, of course, I make blended alcoholic drinks and we sit and watch. I should have invited you over. It was silly of me not to.
When I started getting the text messages from you, I was offended.
Well, we had only found out days before. I didn't know that we were on the route. I had only found that out a couple days before, and I was like, "What?"
As they started setting up for it, or
no, just I saw a news article and
okay.
It mentioned where it was going, and I was like, "Wait a minute." So we watched the parade. So I'm just going to get through a few of my observations.
Okay.
First, the Grand Marshal of the parade is a name that has been spoken on this podcast several times before. One Elder Jeffrey R. Holland of the Mormon Church. This is the guy who our listeners might remember him as being the guy who gave the musket fire speech in which he said that the fight against the evils of gay people. He decided to bring weaponry into his metaphor, and it didn't go over great.
No,
it went over quite poorly.
Yes. Yeah. He's do they just rotate through the general authority, like the Quorum of the 12, maybe? Like, why him?
Why him? I don't know. He's the leader of the president of the Quorum of the 12.
Is that what it is?
A big deal. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sitting here looking at the photo that you sent of him writing in, I don't know what that is.
In a white convertible.
Convertible of some kind. And he could not have been a very energetic.
No, he's an old man. He was in a cowboy hat and bolo tie with a Hawaiian lei around his neck, which is a confusing bit of kit for a guy, for a Mormon leader. The lei is, a lot of people don't know that like Mormonism got real big in the Pacific Islands. I don't know why. It was a family focused thing, I think. Anyway, he got laid, as it were. He is surrounded by 6 security dudes walking walking not unlike like they are the Secret Service for the President of the United States. It had that vibe.
He's just as important.
By the way, he was waving. I just have to say that the way that he was waving was insane.
Oh no.
He had like full hands, like splayed. Like his hand was splayed out. All the fingers were wide open. And he was just kind of wiggling his hand at everybody at full arm's length. Like, I don't know what that is. That is not a wave.
It does not surprise me that Jeffrey R. Holland
doesn't know
waves
how to wave.
Like a not human, right?
Yeah.
Like, I saw this on a video. One of my grandchildren showed me a YouTube.
Oh no,
someone waving.
He didn't think about how to wave. He got into the car and then realized he had to wave, and then that was what he came up with.
And
that's his natural wave.
That oh shit! I never learned how to wave.
I think you might think it's fine, but this is why, like beauty pageant contestants have to study how to wave because your own natural wave might be idiotic. Anyway. The rest of the parade is a whole bunch. That's a great wave.
That's me waving.
Those of you who are watching us on YouTube can see Frank waving. Anyway, the rest of the parade is just a cavalcade of, the basic parade things. There's floats, which, by the way, can I just say, I think parades are idiotic. I don't know what they are. I don't know what you're doing. I think I've said this on the show before.
Yeah.
What the hell is a parade? I don't know what's happening. I don't know why it's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
they can be fun. They can be a thing. It's the thing people do. They go out.
It's definitely a thing people do. I just don't get it.
It's fun, Dan. It's good, wholesome American fun.
And these, a lot of these floats, I should point out, have phrases like West Jordan 4th Ward or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they are done by individual Mormon congregations.
Yeah.
So like one of the first ones we saw was this weird taffy pulling like machine. And they all have to have some really dumb phrase on the side, like inspirational phrase. So the taffy pulling, it said pulling together with pioneer spirit. Pioneer, spirit. These are all words that appear frequently on these things. So this had it was cute. It had like a real like mechanism that looked like a taffy puller that was doing its thing.
These are cute. These are proper floats too. Like they're not being towed by like a vehicle. The float
Some
is a
of them
vehicle.
were, but those were the disappointing ones. The float is the vehicle. You're right.
Yeah.
Then there was a series of horse-drawn carts, old-timey 1800s horse-drawn carts with fake chunks of granite in the back.
Yeah.
To indicate or to sort of be to honor the bringing of granite down for the building of the Salt Lake Temple.
Okay, this is all wrong, Dan. First of all, it was ox carts. Had to be ox carts because
teams of oxen because
those were the only animal. Like these are fucking heavy. Like this is just styrofoam in these.
Right.
Those
but like, 2 mules are not pulling an entire block of granite down a canyon and into the Salt Lake Valley.
They need to find some oxen.
They do.
They really do. In fact, if I was in charge of the Days of 47 parade, that would be a rule. I'm sorry. It must be oxen or nothing.
Oxen or you're out.
Yeah. Like
hit the road, Jack.
This horses and you're right. There's a couple mules. Bullshit. This is bullshit nonsense. You're not going to be spreading this false history of what happened here.
Yeah. There was one float that was honoring a guy that I think I'm the only one along that entire parade route who knew who this was, which is Archibald Gardner. I'm guessing you've never heard that name before.
No.
The only reason I have heard the name Archibald Gardner is because one of my favorite gravestones in the Salt Lake City Cemetery is that of I'm going to call him Arch Gardner because it has his name. It is a very tall, it is like 7 feet tall, this gravestone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It has his name and then the list of wives. And it is extensive. This list of wives of Archibald Gardner, including ones that were buried there at that plot, and then a list of the wives buried elsewhere. It is astounding. It is something only a Mormon. And you know what? If you come to Salt Lake and you want to do an unconventional tourist thing, go to the Salt Lake City Cemetery in the avenues. It's you will stumble on some wackadoo stuff.
Yeah. Well, apparently he built a bunch of mills.
He built 36 mills, according to this float. And then he was a pioneer! ! Engineer! !
Yeah.
He was a mill guy.
There was some murderous mob.
He survived a murderous mob. That's right.
Really? And a dangerous river? It says dangerous river.
Here's the thing. They're celebrating survived a murderous mob. Like it's never a good thing when there's a murderous mob after you.
If there's a crowd with pitchforks.
There's a reason there was a murderous mob after you. Can we talk about that? No? Okay.
You're either a movie monster or a real life monster.
Right.
Well, Dan, what can we these
what
these
lesson
are
are we
wonderful. I'm riveted by your recounting of your day watching the parade.
Yeah.
But like, what is there a lesson? Is there a point to all of this?
No. I don't think so. Here's the thing. I don't know, just like I don't understand what a parade is for, what it's doing, why it exists. I think the idea is just, this is the remnants of a culture that I think was its own culture. Like Mormonism very much was a unique culture within the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's dying as a culture, or rather it's assimilating. It's becoming part of the larger culture. Utah Mormonism is still very much its own culture and very much, and it's awful. Like Utah, like outside of Utah, Mormonism is actually far more tolerable.
Yeah.
You shouldn't ever have power over a whole region because it just makes you absolutely insufferable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they are. And that's the other thing is that, like, as I walked the night before among the people who had camped out, the most hardcore of the lovers of this event.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty obnoxious people.
They're driving in these are not Salt Lake City Mormons.
Oh my God, no.
Exited their front doors to like go watch this parade. These are people who've like driven in from like the Mormon heartland.
From Provo
Yeah.
and
The
Payson and whatever. Yeah.
And then South Jordan,
Right, sure.
And places
near and far.
here in the valley, but they're still really, really prominently Mormon.
Yeah.
And that I'm surprised they brave the streets of Salt Lake City, to be honest. Like,
yeah, they're definitely afraid, but I think they knew they had the numbers for this. I think the thing, like one of the things that's interesting about this is how unabashedly Mormon this whole parade is.
Yeah.
Start to finish, from the grand marshal of the parade all the way through. There's just no hint that there is anyone else that lives in this state.
right.
There's no mention. I mean, there are, like, for instance, there was a Lamanite thing, and it was literally called, I don't remember what they called their group, but it was literally Pacific Islanders. And as they're walking past, because the announcer guy was right outside our window, so we heard and he literally called them Lamanites. Wow. They were celebrating the bad guys. They were the descendants of the bad guys in the Book of Mormon. They're not. The Book of Mormon was made up. It is not real.
Right.
But everyone brown on this continent, and then for some reason the Pacific Islands as well, counts as having descended from the bad guys in the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, end up winning in the Book of Mormon. The bad guys win.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I mean, you had to explain why there were no white people.
Right.
Why are there no white Indians? Well, the brown ones must have killed them all.
Yeah.
I.e. the evil ones, the bad guys, the brown ones, right? Because that's not me projecting anything onto.
No, that's legit. That's real.
That is explicitly the message of the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's wild stuff, Dan. It actually surprises me in some ways. I mean, it doesn't, because I know that, like, the church headquarters is still in Salt Lake City and everything, but it does kind of surprise me that they haven't found a more sort of Mormon venue for this parade, right? Like, they still claim this city, even though they're in the vast minority in this city.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny
but it would be like us going out and doing a big atheist parade in Provo, right?
And it is weird because Provo, Utah, which is very, very Mormon, that's where the big 4th of July parade is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the 24th of July parade, the Pioneer Day parade, is here in Salt Lake. That should be opposite.
It should be. Yeah.
That's so weird. Yeah. Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe this is the conclusion. And I think all of our listeners should chime in on this.
Okay.
All of you. I want to hear back from you on this.
Or comment section.
In the comment section, comment, like, and subscribe, and then tell us: would you help us crowdfund a TGIA float for the Days of 47 parade? The atheist float, just getting in there, celebrating the pioneering spirit of leaving the church. Like, I want to know. I don't know what it will cost us. I don't know if they'll allow it, but I want to try. And if we can get it in, if we can find a way to get in under the bar, I want to do it. I think it'd be fun for us to make a float and drive it, and just have me and Frank and a bunch of y'all waving at all the people, celebrating the atheist spirit of America, or something like that.
We'll learn to wave beforehand.
Yeah. I'm doing the Jeffrey Holland wave. That's the way. That is my wave from now on. I love that stiff-armed, splayed-fingered wave. That is my favorite wave for the rest of eternity.
Oh, golly.
All right. Well, that's it. If you guys want to be a part of the TGIA float in the parade, in the Mormon parade, let us know. You can write into us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
You can comment on YouTube or wherever else. You can do it. Or you can leave us a voicemail message at 424-666-8442.
Yeah, to support the show, go to thankgodimatheist.com/donate.
This episode was edited by Roger Gowdy, and music was provided by the Red Rock Hot Club and Gordon Johnston.
Hey, thanks to all y'all for tuning in. We sure do appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank God I'm Atheist is a production of TGIA Media, LLC, copyright 2025, all rights reserved.